Okay, cool.
What's going on?
Oh, well, you know. It's starting to get hot outside. I just got back from work.
Fucking can't stand it.
That's horrible.
I hate it. Where are you from?
Miami.
Oh, okay. So you're used to heat.
Yeah, but I moved there from Russia when I was 6 years old. So it's like, putting an ice cube into a hot tub, watching it disintegrate.
That's fucking right.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate specifically with hot weather, there's nothing you can do to control it. Nothing.
No.
You can't put on extra layers.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah. Nothing you could do. So
You can't put on extra layers. I was having a conversation with some dude in the grocery store the other day. I think in the grocery store, and I was like, man, I can't stand this like weather. It was when it was like 85 degrees a couple weeks ago. So I'm like sweating right now. In the winter time, and I was like, man, I can't stand this heat. And he's like, what are you talking about? This is great. And he's like, with heat, you can always take off more layers, but with cold, you can't do anything about it.
What happens when you're out of layers to take off?
That's what I was saying.
Dude.
And he's like, no, I don't agree.
What a little freak he is.
I was like, I had to leave. I was just like, I'm out. This is like too much. This is way too much for me.
Yeah, agreed. It's horrible. And also, like, we played a show last night.
How was it?
It was sold out. It was fucking packed.
Sick.
And I crowd surfed and I rode a bicycle upside down on the ceiling. There was a bicycle attached to the ceiling.
Oh shit.
And they crowd surfed me up onto the bike and I like held on to it. It was sick.
Are you ever afraid of them dropping you?
No.
How's that?
They love me too much.
Has that ever happened?
No. I've crowd surfed on five people before. Okay. Empty room. Everyone lined up and carried me.
Right.
They'd never. It's like letting like a precious little baby fall.
Well, also you're like 100 pounds. If I were to crowd surf, I would probably be dropped a couple times.
It helps that I'm light for sure.
Yeah.
And I've also I don't know. I feel like this a strong sense of respect between myself and the audience because I've also never gotten like a finger in the ass or anything. Like no one tries any crazy shit with me. They just I don't know. I feel respected when I'm up there.
I also feel like your crowd is just very, I mean, not to be too redundant, just very respectful of you. I like when I went to your show at Davy Wayne's.
Yeah.
Nobody was like totally fucked up. They were just there for like a good time.
Yeah.
Nobody's like on drugs.
They're good people.
From what I see.
We bring out, we send out lighthearted vibes. Dude.
Yes.
You know, aside from all the penis jokes.
Do you make penis jokes?
Oh, I can't stop. And I draw them everywhere. I'm like Jonah Hill in Superbad, dude. It's so bad. They're everywhere. Yeah.
Sick.
I'm obsessed.
When did that start?
I don't know. Like a few years ago. And then I started with like a standard dick. And then I started drawing them uncircumcised because I wanted everyone to feel included. No, sorry, circumcised. Wait, uncircumcised. I started drawing them uncircumcised because I wanted everyone to feel included.
Did that work?
Yeah, I'm sure people feel included.
Okay. Just checking audio levels.
I don't ask, but
That's cool.
So anyway, we played a show last night. It was super packed. And then I had to get up at 8 a.m. to go to work. And it was the most surreal experience of my life. Because it felt like we had played such a successful show. And then I still had to wake up in the morning, go to a job that I hate.
Yeah.
And it felt like 2 + 2 did not equal 4.
What did it equal?
It equaled shitty, something shitty. The worst number you could imagine.
I would have that where I was working, because how old are you?
26.
Okay, yeah. I was working on my job. I was like a valet.
And
I'll go do this like really euphoric job.
Yeah.
And then go and fucking park somebody's car.
It's insane.
Or I was driving Uber when I was also working, like when I first started, taking photos and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer. And like the people in the back were like, sure. Like, sure. We bet that you are. And I was like,
Dream
no,
on,
like
pal.
really, yeah, dream on, pal. Like keep dreaming. It
Yeah.
is so weird.
Yeah. Brings you down to earth though. And I don't know if that's something that's supposed to happen. Like I hear that one is supposed to humble themselves. I don't know if that's a like good thing or a bad thing.
I think
guess
maybe
everything
that's
in
healthy
moderation.
to be like crowd surfing and then like at a job the next day, maybe.
Yeah, and then have people crowd surf on me and give me a $5 tip.
Sick.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
How'd you get started? Okay, so you started out in Russia being born.
Yes.
And then you moved to Miami.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I actually don't know much about why I moved to Miami, how I ended up there. It was my family is very secretive. And I've heard many stories over the years. Like, they told me it was because I had asthma, which is like crazy reason to get a fucking green card is because your kid has asthma. I don't have asthma, by the way. And they also said that my grandfather, who was diabetic, like needed better treatment. So they brought him out to Miami. But also no explanation as to why I had to stay with him because my parents didn't come with me. So very strange. However, I moved out to Miami when I was 6. And with my grandparents and my uncle. My uncle was super into like Radiohead.
Wait, with your grandparents and your uncle?
Mm-hmm.
Were your parents there?
No.
They stayed?
They stayed, yeah.
Are they still there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were raised basically by grandparents and uncle.
By wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, I was raised by my grandparents and my uncle. My uncle being like the most important influence. Mainly because he taught me how to be cool. And he showed me a bunch of cool music and a bunch of cool movies. And like, I felt so ahead of the game in school. So, it enriched me.
Wow.
Culturally.
Wow.
And then, I was like, I've always wanted to start a band ever since I was a kid. I watched School of Rock.
Yeah.
My life. Yeah.
That was the first day that I met you. We got together at Tommy's and watched School of Rock. Yeah. It's a good day. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Wait, so since you were a little kid, you always dreamed of being a rock star.
I always wanted to be in a rock band. I always wanted to. In 5th grade, I tried to start a little band with my friends Arthur and Sasha. And we never got together for a single rehearsal, but like I assigned everybody roles. I wanted to play drums so bad, but it's not for me. Maybe one day. And I was like, okay, dude, you're gonna play the keyboard. It's gonna be fucking sick. And you're gonna play the bass. It's gonna be fucking sick. And it's just it's gonna work, and we're gonna be famous. Yeah, the one that got away.
Shit, did you guys have a name?
No, dude. No, I did have a band when I was in the 6th grade, I think. 6th or 7th grade. That band name I do remember, and it was called Monday's Massacre.
That's pretty.
That's
actually a really good name.
I know.
Did you come up with that?
Yes.
Okay. Damn. Good for you. Little 6th grader.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. We had a similar thing to you. Me and my friend Sean, like my girlfriend at the time, Casey, and like my friend Megan. It's like 4 of us. We were a little trio senior year of high school. And like my friend Sean had like a little Easter egg filled with rocks that he made as like a maraca type vibe.
God.
And
that's cute.
He started playing it and we were like, oh, we should like make a band because y'all kind of know how to sing. Not one rehearsal, nothing.
But you told everybody that you were in a band.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were called Grapes in the Fridge.
Wait, that's actually fire. That's so indie of y'all. Like the Moldy Peaches fucking Wish. Grapes in the Fridge.
We got together during, maybe we had one rehearsal, but we got together during lunch one day senior year, and we're like out by Sean's car and he breaks out the maraca. He starts shaking it. I'm like, okay, Casey, now start singing. Like, and my girlfriend at the time, Casey, was just like, I don't know. No. So we tried again, and then like we tried to schedule like a solid rehearsal. Yeah. Didn't really work out.
That's so cute.
But like what could have been,
You guys were on your little Camp Rock, like lemonade mouth shit. Everybody starts singing it. And everyone knows the lyrics. It's
Yeah.
like, what? This is crazy.
Just a random shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, one day. But it's a good joke now. We're always like, remember grapes in the fridge?
Is that the first thing you wanted to do? Like, what's the first thing you remember wanting to do?
Oh yeah. I think I'm pretty similar. It was like be in a band of some sort.
Yeah.
Or be like an artist of something. And then
Yeah.
I like took guitar. Well, I played piano for like 5-6 years. Love piano. It's my fucking favorite thing.
Okay.
But stopped that, played guitar for a couple years. Because I remember telling my mom when I was in like junior year of high school, I was like, I don't want to work a desk job. Like I need to do something creative.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I want to like be a musician of some sort. So she's like, do you want to take guitar lessons? And I was like, yeah. So I took those for like a year, but then my teacher and I like, we never played guitar. We would just like talk about life.
Dude.
Have you had one of
I have
those?
had the same exact
No
experience.
way.
Yes. Except, well, I had a guitar teacher for a little bit, for a few months. And that was kind of the deal. I would ask him, like, I'm like 14. I was asking this guy about like his family and like, well, how do you feel in your relationship with your wife? Like, insane. And I had a vocal coach too, same thing, a couple months.
Yeah.
And I was like, so, I'm going through this thing right now. Maybe you could help me out. Like, insane. Just like what I really needed is therapy as a child. And I was projecting it onto these musical professionals. Yeah.
No, yeah. I saw him for 2 years.
Really? And you just yapped?
Yes. We just talked the entire time. I maybe learned like 2-3 songs. For 2 years. Swear to God.
King shit.
Yeah. It was gnarly. I was like, what the fuck?
How old were you?
I was 15. I was like smoking weed. So we would talk about drugs. Not great. But he was really cool, and we're still friends on Facebook and keep up. But he would be like, yeah, I'm going to Burning Man this week. And he would come back the next week and talk about Burning Man. And I was like, yeah, this is great.
He was just paid to be your best friend.
Yeah. He would talk about sex and like would teach me, not like that, but not like that. No. But he would just teach me like, you said this to this girl and it didn't work out. Maybe try this next time. Like, kind of like life coaching shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But like with girls at the time, and yeah.
That's sweet,
Yeah,
dude.
it was very,
I
very
love
sweet.
that you had that experience.
Yeah.
You look like somebody that's in a band, to be fair.
What would I play? Do you know what I mean? Like squinting my eyes.
No, you give me guitar vibes for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got out of that and I went to visual arts. When I was 18, I like picked up a camera and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, something clicked.
Yeah. And then I got like a internship like a couple months later. Started taking it like more seriously and stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, when did you picked up guitar at what age?
My first instrument was bass.
Oh, sick.
Because my uncle played bass and I wanted to be exactly like him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I was like 11 or 12 or something. And I learned Feel Good Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. I learned
wait, how does that go on bass?
Feel Good Inc. is boom 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 boom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And what else? Seven Nation Army. Classic.
Salvation Army.
Seven Nation Army.
Oh, okay.
Salvation Army, a classic.
Like the clothing.
And then I started playing guitar when I was 13, I want to say, but that wasn't even a choice. Nobody made me, like the world made me, because I did not know how to cope with the emotions that I had.
Mm.
I was a very reflective child. I was very existential. I had my first existential crisis when I was like 3 years old. And
What?
yeah.
What about? Do you remember?
I remember it very clearly because it has haunted me since. I was watching a TV show. I was in Russia still. My grandma was sitting in the room with me somewhere, and I remember there was like a certain theme of death where somebody's grandma died and they had to deliver this information onto the child. I think this was specifically created to bring up the subject of death to children.
Whoa.
Probably. That's how I remember it from like my 3-year-old mind. And something clicked in my head because in the show they said like, oh, well, you know, grandma got really old, so she died. And I was like, hold on, hold the phone. I know that we get old. Everybody's getting old, right?
At 3, you were thinking this?
I put 2 and 2 and 2 together, okay? I was like, A, we all get old. I know we get old. Like, I know that concept, right? And B, you die from getting old.
Uh-huh.
Ergo C, we're all gonna fucking die.
Okay.
And it clicked in my head. Like, it probably did not sound like that in my mind. And my mind was probably just like a mush of emotions. And then I gained awareness. I don't know. But
whoa,
that's what happened. And I started spazzing. Like, I couldn't, like, I could not conceptualize it. I guess I started imagining like not existing anymore.
Whoa.
And my grandma had to like try to calm me down. And I was just like, I was freaking out. So I've had that throughout my whole life where like I'll fall into these crises.
Is it most to do with death or?
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably just have OCD and I can't stop. Like my compulsion is just to like spiral out into thought. And death was like a big one of mine, and then it became disease, and now it's, you know, becoming famous, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's until I was like 20, it was centered around death and dying.
Whoa.
And like not existing and eternity, and I couldn't cope with it. So I started playing guitar because I started writing poetry. I was in like gifted writing classes, and I didn't know anybody that was my age that I could talk to about what I was experiencing. So started writing about it. And then I wanted to write songs, and I forced myself to like learn 4 chords so that I could make that, you know, into song. But I really don't think it was ever about like the music for me. I wouldn't consider myself to be like super drawn to like making sound. I feel like some people are just like audible people, and they like, that's how they experience the world mostly, is through like, you know, auditory, you know, whatever. That's not me. I just needed an outlet, and so I for some reason chose music. Don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I think I have that form of OCD where it's just like my mind latches on to certain thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking spiral.
Yeah.
It would drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking about it. It drove me to some wild places.
Yeah. No,
it's not great.
It's I've definitely wasted like cumulatively probably years of my life. I've given it years of my life. However, my friend our friend Clifton told me something really important very recently. And it was that, and I wish I could quote it directly, but I won't be able to, but essentially, the point of what he was saying is to embrace mystery. It is the only way that you could free yourself from any of that. He said, this is what it is. Hope without mystery is an expectation.
I fuck with that.
Yeah. He's wise.
He is very wise.
But, you know, no matter with people with minds like ours, where we latch on to whatever is in the environment. So when I moved to LA, bro, I never in my life thought about how the world was experiencing me or how I was being perceived. I grew up pretty ignorant to all of that, I want to say.
Like you weren't self-conscious.
Like
you're conscious of your own self, but you're not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I didn't
worried
grow
about
up. I
what
didn't grow
other
up socially
people-
awkward or anything. I just kind of grew up like wanting to be different.
Okay.
You know,
and not giving a fuck what anybody else thinks.
No, it was there was like when I was a kid, I was very shy.
Okay.
Because I felt like I couldn't relate to anybody. And then somewhere like when I moved to America, it started to change because I felt like I could be an individual here and it was like kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I started full sending that and I was like, okay, I'm going to be the most different person you guys have ever met. Like no one like me. I'm one of one, you know?
Mm.
And then when I moved to LA, that was the first time I felt pressure to conform to something. And it freaked me out. And I can't even explain why. I think just because like I got into a friend group with a lot of people that like do pop music and like a lot of songwriters that write songs a certain way. And I always like I've never learned how to do things. I've always done them like in an unconventional way.
Mm.
So going into a group with other people that like I felt like had a common language that I did not share, I kind of started like malfunctioning a little bit. I started freaking out. I was like, wait, maybe I went a little bit too far left. Maybe I'm a little bit too different and I can't, you know? And, you know, OCD brain latched onto that. And, you know, it took me a while to stop white knuckling it. I think like a part of me still is, you know, wondering how I fit in or, you know, if I'm good enough or, you know, any of that, you know, how I measure up, all of that. It's like this one in particular, it's fucked up. I wish it was death still, you know?
It is fucked.
Yeah.
It is fucked. I deal with that all the time. I've dealt with that since I was a child.
Yeah.
Because I moved a lot when I was a kid. Moved everywhere in the US, whatever. So I was always a new kid.
Yeah.
Always having to find out like, okay, how do I fit in here?
Yeah.
What is the language here? And like, it fucked me up when I moved to, in 6th grade, like beginning of 6th grade, we moved to Orange County, like Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
From Baltimore, Maryland, like from a little East Coast, like shit. Irish and black town, like highly Catholic, you know, we don't really do anything like.
Yeah.
And then coming to like a surf capital of the world, blah, 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 like near LA, California, whatever. It was just bizarre.
Yeah.
I did not fit in. I was not good enough. I was not a man. Like it all these things compounded to where that's like, I had to continually check my surroundings to see if I'm in line.
Yeah.
Because if I was not, I got bullied the fuck. Like, to oblivion when I was in 6th grade to like junior year. But like,
oh my God,
dude, it was not fun.
Dude, what were they bullying you about?
I had like rosy red cheeks and like almost purple lips and whatnot. And they would be like, aha, you fucking gay dude, whatever the fuck. Because all these dudes in 6th grade, they were like, yeah, my name's like Josh. Like, it's so cool. And I was like, but you're like, that voice is not real. Like, they're like, my balls dropped. Like, I don't know. And I was just like, hey guys, like, it's me, Scott. Like, this little Rosie. I was like so excited, you know?
Cute.
I was like very just cheerful and happy, and then just got that beat out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is sick.
You know, part of me really wishes I experienced that sort of like, I don't know, like, not mentality, but I guess, wish I functioned like that as a kid, because my mentality was more like, kind of like get them before they get me. So that's where I think I like pushed for my individuality so much. It felt like that was like the thing that I had and the thing that I had to protect.
Mm.
So I almost put myself in a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, these guys are gonna fucking think I'm weird and I'm too good for them.
Hell yeah.
You know? You know? I was a fucking dick.
Yeah.
I was a dick, but I think it comes from like, probably comes from a fear of rejection, you know?
It's like, let me reject.
Yeah. Let me do it first before they could do it to me.
Right.
You know? But when I moved to LA, it was different because I met a bunch of people that I wanted to be friends with, that I really liked. So then rocking a hard place, dude. I'm like, okay, do I let my guard down and like, do I put everything on the line and then, you know, and kind of let them get to know who I am and maybe have that not be good enough by like my standards or whoever else's standards, or should I just keep being an asshole and pretending like no one fucking knows me and I'm too good for everybody? Yeah.
What have you chosen? Do you switch between the
former.
two? The former.
I'm trying to choose it, but it's years of programming.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah.
I think that sort of temperament will like build issues with intimacy, you know? And I really want to give people the option to hate me or to love me, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if I have any rebuttal to that. That's really well said. I mean, give people the option to love or hate you.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I mean, it's really scary, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, I had experience at Clifton's summer camp with diving in head first, literally. Everything's metaphorical to him, so he creates like group team building exercises for everything. And
can you describe what that is?
So our friend Clifton has a summer camp for songwriters, and it's not just a writing camp, it's literal summer camp.
Yeah.
You go there to his parents' lake house and you swim in the lake, and then you have writing sessions all day, and it's summer camp for songwriters. And the first day he does bonding exercises with everybody where like we'll do team building where people, like the year that I went, we built like a little house out of paper and we had to do it faster than the other team and it had to be taller than the other teams. And then it told us a lot about our competitive styles, whatever, like the coolest shit you ever heard of. Yeah. You know, it's a bunch of adults doing it. It's so fucking cool. And I ended up staying a few days after summer camp ended. And I was just going through it. I was like, what do I need? Do I need to fucking do an ayahuasca trip or something? I just like felt like caged inside of myself. And he found out that I don't know how to dive. He was like, you can't dive, just like go in head first. What do you mean? I was like, no, I can't. And the lake is deep, dude. Like, he's like, come on, just do it. I couldn't do it. After a couple tries, like I did like a little half dive, you know? And he was like, here. And he gave me this pineapple floaty with a hole in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, dive through this. Bro, he has a 16-minute long video of me waiting there to dive into the pineapple. And I could not do it. I could not do it. It was a force greater than myself stopping me from diving into the pineapple. And you know, it says a lot about how much I stand to practice surrender, probably emotionally and physically, you know? You can't selectively suppress. If you suppress one thing, you suppress everything. And so I think my physical body, my physical reaction to jumping into the pineapple and probably said a lot about, you know, the chastity belt that's on my brain right now.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put.
Scared of getting mind fucked, bro.
When you dove through that pineapple, did it feel like...
I cried.
Okay.
I cried.
There was a release.
Yeah.
There was a surrender there.
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting, like... I don't know if you had a similar experience growing up inside of your brain, but like I remember observing kids as a kid as if I was an alien and being like, oh, this is what other kids do. So I'm going to do this. Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Dude,
I had to for survival. I had to be like from an outsider looking in, being like, all right, you guys do that. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Then do that. I mean, it's like fitting in, but like from what I understand, you were trying to do the opposite in many ways, or?
Well, I, hold on. What were we getting to? We were talking about the pineapple.
We were talking about pineapple.
And, yeah, so I've tried to undo a lot of that throughout my life, because I remember when I was a little girl still in Russia, and I don't know where I learned it from, but my grandma made me clean my room. She left the room, and then I started taking all my toys out of the little toy box and like throwing them all over the place. And she came in, she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, well, this is like, real girls have messy rooms. You know, like this is what the real girls, like real life girls, they have messy rooms. And she was like, okay. She was like, at that point, this kid, lock her up, bro.
Right.
But so sometimes I'll catch myself existing in life and thinking like, oh, now would be a good moment to cry. Or now would be like the right moment to laugh. Or now would be like, almost like I'm in a movie. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm not just a performer, but
just a performer.
But when I dove through that pineapple and I cried, it was completely from my emotion. I had no thought behind it. I just felt moved and
Interesting.
I cried.
Okay, so it's almost like you like are narrating and directing your life and your emotional state, right?
Yeah.
Based off of what you think other people think you should be doing?
Yeah. And I actually think that a lot of people function that way.
Well, I do in many ways. I've gone to many years of therapy though to like try to undo all these all of these things I've put on myself and cages I've locked myself in, like mental chastity belts I've locked myself in. It's coming up right now though in like emotions I'm okay with. I'm like, I'm mad, and my friends are like, oh, why are you mad? Or okay, I'm talking to a friend, it's like 2 p.m. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take like a 30-minute nap. I've never gotten so much more shit from the dudes in my life for taking naps and like caring about like resting. They're like, what? You're always taking a nap. I'm like, is it wrong to take a nap? Am I not supposed to be taking a nap? I'm like,
right.
My body is saying rest for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. But where it's coming up right now is like in the dating world, I asked this girl like, hey, what time do you get off of work tomorrow? Like, I'll plan the rest.
Yeah.
And she ghosted, and like I got kind of upset because we were friends for like years. Oh. And like I was like, what? Like, why not just say, hey, I don't want to do this, whatever.
Yeah.
And I told like a group of guy friends about it, and they got on my ass. They're like, you need to be like, we're doing this at this time. I'm taking you out, be dressed this way. And I'm like, I don't work that way. Right. And so the narration of like,
and also you'll attract an incompatible partner.
Dude, right.
Yeah.
I work in like collaboration. Yeah. I don't work by dictation of.
You gotta be dressed this way.
I don't fuck with that. Like, I don't know. I've been dating some people now, and it's like I'm just like, what do you like? I'll give a list of like things I think are fun. What do you like? Yeah. Like, I work like that way. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like, we're gonna go get Thai food, and in the back of their mind be like, oh fuck, I hate Thai food. Yeah. If you're having a bad experience, I'm gonna be having a bad experience. Yeah. And I pick up on that energy very well. Yeah. Like, I'm very attuned to like, I can tell something's off.
Right.
Almost to a fault sometimes.
I get it.
But yeah, that's where it's coming up for me, of like that narration and that like, oh, well, I guess I should be doing this. Right. Instead of doing what feels natural, like crying after the pineapple thing.
Yeah. If once you do it for a long enough period of time, especially like if you learn it through your formative years and everything, it's almost as though uh uh and let's use I language, but like it's almost as though I have become less aware of when I actually feel something and when I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling something. You know what I'm saying? So it's a it's a strange experience. I was writing a song with my friend Sam the other day, or like a few months ago actually, and it was about a very tender subject for me. And then we started writing the song, and then I just explained to him how the rest of the song was gonna go and how I definitely probably feel about the situation. And he was like, "Do you really feel that way? Because this doesn't feel like human at all." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Is this how you want it to feel or how it feels?" And I was like, "Whoa, there's a difference." You know? And I don't know. It's a matter of getting comfortable enough with that difference because a bunch of scary stuff is on the other side, I guess. Or stuff that we, you know, learned is scary or that was once scary to us in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, like big emotions we don't want to feel. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's actually, hold on. It's come up in a different aspect of my life recently where like I think that I use sex and relationships as like, I don't think, I know. I use them as a way to cope. Like I use them as a distraction kind of from my life. And I want to change that because I want to be in like a very deep and meaningful relationship. But I am so unaware when I'm unaware when I'm using sex as a coping mechanism versus when I actually want to have sex.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like it's the same thing like when like if you hit the vape a bunch and you don't even know if you're like having a craving or if you're just doing it just to fucking do it.
To do it.
You know, it's like a knee-jerk reaction.
It's a distraction. I mean, it's an unhealthy coping mechanism from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like it all comes from being like extremely disconnected from your emotional center, you know? Like not being able to name an emotion. Like, what do I feel right now?
Truth.
You know?
Are you seeing a therapist?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I'm trying to though. Once I get my bag, bro. Once I get my money up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wait, so when did you move out to LA? When did that happen?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. Where are you living in LA?
I live in Hollywood right now.
Oh God, get out of there.
I know. I'm moving in April to Highland Park.
Oh, dude.
My life's about to get good, bro.
Yes. That is where I see you living.
Yeah.
Yeah, Highland Park's beautiful.
I like it over there. I love Bell's Bagels from all my Jews. You haven't been to Bell's?
No.
You have to go to Bell's.
Okay.
It's really good.
Actually, I've heard of it. Yes.
It's good.
My neighbor's like sister, somebody owns it or whatever.
No way.
Yeah.
You introduced me. I'm a huge fan.
I'm a huge fan. No, but she was telling me, we were like talking the other night at like 1 a.m. And she's like, oh, I was like, have you been to Courage Bagels and Echo Park? And she's like, no, but I hear that's really good. But she's like, honestly, like, I just go to Bell's. It's like the best.
It's the best. And it's the most affordable too.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Do they have like bagel sandwiches?
They do. They do.
Have you been to Courage though?
No, I haven't been to Courage. I haven't been to Courage because I tried to find a place that is as cost effective as Bell's. And I have not found it.
No, you will not find that.
I have not found it.
No.
Courage, they have like their lox bagel is like $18, $19 now.
It's so good though.
Bro.
Dude, I got a bagel sandwich, a coffee, and like just a regular, a bagel to go.
Yeah.
With nothing on it, not even cut open. Just regular plain bagel. $36.
Fuck that.
Worth every penny.
You've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed by big Los Angeles, bro. By Big Bagel. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
By Big LA Bagel.
The one thing I will say, I think Bell's needs to get a non-vegan herb cream cheese.
Is it only vegan?
No. They are not only vegan, but they have 2 schmears that are vegan, and one of them is herb, and they don't have a non-vegan version of the herb, and that pisses me off.
Wait, why do that? That just seems like a waste.
I don't know, and you can ask your friend. This is a sister who owns Bell's.
All right, I will. When did you? So you're in a band called Bruvvy.
Yes.
Is Bruvvy you or is Bruvvy?
No, Bruvvy's a band. Paula, my bass player, and I have known each other since middle school.
Whoa.
And we formed our first band in middle school, and then that band broke up literally a month after.
Was that Monday Massacre?
No. This was another band called Without Gravity.
Damn.
And Juan, our current drummer, convinced our old drummer to leave to college out of state almost so that he could join the band. And that's exactly what he did. Juan joined our first band. And then it broke up like a month later. Poor guy. Did all that manipulation for nothing.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's a psycho. I love him. And then the band broke up and we didn't talk for... That was my freshman year of high school. And my freshman year of high school. I didn't talk to Paula again until like my second semester of college or something like that.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. And she was thinking of hitting me up to hang out. And then she hit me up. And it just so happened to be my birthday that day. We started talking. We got back together with Juan. Started jamming randomly.
In Miami?
In Miami, yeah.
Okay.
And then Paula knew Nelson from a different high school. He was in her friend group. So she invited him to jam with us. Yeah. Juan and I hated him at first.
Okay. Why?
Because he would play over everything that we had already wrote, like so obnoxiously, so many, like just shred all over everything. And we were like, fuck this guy. We were like, we need a guitar player, so let's just keep him in for now. And then we kept him in for like 7 years. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
Wait, so the band's been together for 7 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. That's awesome.
And now we live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Hollywood.
What?
Yeah.
You live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Hollywood?
Yes. It was once my apartment that I couldn't afford. And then they moved here a year ago. I came out a year before them to try to get the ball rolling.
Okay, so stuff in Miami's going good.
The stuff in Miami's going okay, but Miami isn't a terribly ambitious city.
No, not at all.
B, we could not find our crowd there. The type of music that we wanted to do, nobody really listened to it there. So we couldn't even be a successful local band. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. We were great and everything, but it just wasn't our scene. And also, there was nobody to write with. And I wanted to grow so bad. And at some point, that need became so severe that I was like, I can't. Like, if I stay here, I will die. And the band wasn't ready to go out with me. So I came out by myself and I flew back and forth to like do shows. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you stayed out here for a year, flying back and forth.
Yeah. And
then what convinced them all?
Well, we got a record deal.
The 3 people to move out here.
We got a record deal.
With
our label Edge Out.
Okay.
Yeah. We got a record deal and, you know, I'm not going to lie, like that was kind of like their criteria to move. Because I guess in their minds that made it serious.
Right.
But to me, I'd be doing music whether it was for this band or not, you know? So to me, it was just serious to be an artist. So it was a little bit more urgent to me, you know? And thank God I came out because I got a record deal in that year. So.
Holy shit. How does that even happen? How does one get a record deal?
You know, I don't know how anybody else gets record deals, really.
Yeah.
But I know the way that it happened with us is our friend Mark, he's our mix engineer. He fucking he's the one that got the Killer signed and like Imagine Dragons, and he has
Wow.
like a long history of shopping bands to labels, right? And our ex-manager Ernie, he knew him, introduced me to him, introduced us to him. Actually, I think we were together, and you know, he really really liked me. So he was shopping us to a bunch of labels, and this is kind of the label that was willing to bite, considering that our social media stats were, you know, subpar, considering how people blow up these days, you know. But
You roll your eyes. What's going on there?
well, I just think that whenever the new thing comes along, like in the 80s it was MTV.
Yeah.
And now it's TikTok. Whenever the new thing comes along, everyone forgets about every other commercial medium or like musical artistic medium. And like when TikTok happened and people started blowing up from TikTok, live shows began to suffer so much because people were blowing up and not knowing how to be able to translate this to live.
Yes.
To the live setting. And unfortunately, for some artists, it would literally cost them their careers because they couldn't get their shit together in time before the label was like, get the fuck out of here. You know?
You mean like they couldn't play live, or?
Yeah, I think they just, I know a lot of people that have really, really like transcendental online personas. They are so good at the online thing. Like, I don't know how to do that. However, something that I had a lot of practice in is playing live. I've been playing live shows for 7 years straight, like, you know, every week. So, but that's where you really connect with people. That's where they get to see you and they get to feel you and experience it through like multiple senses, and it's not imaginary, and there's less for them to project onto it. You know, it's honest. So I feel like artists are no longer getting the chance, or at least I don't know how labels are starting to function nowadays. I know when the TikTok thing first happened, I feel like they weren't giving artists the chance to develop as live artists because they were like, oh, they already blew up on TikTok, so that means they got this shit figured out, and let's just keep doing more of that. And it's like, there's so much more to it, you know, and they're limiting them, I think.
Even if you blow up on TikTok and that one song goes super viral, whatever the fuck, you get all the crazy stuff. And even if you have a good live performance, that still doesn't like putting cement, like, that made no sense, but like that still doesn't like guarantee success.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy named Jake, like JVKE, who did like Golden Hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Amazing song.
Yeah.
And then like he went on stage with Alicia Keys after and plays a song with her and like on the talk shows. Where has he been the last 2 years? I don't know.
Dude, I have not experienced a viral hit. I think
honestly, maybe
partially
that's
I'm lucky for not experiencing that, because I cannot imagine how much that fucks with your head, dog.
Yes.
That must be I wouldn't be able to fathom. I can't fathom. But yeah, I'm sure he was pushed into a very dark corner of his mind after this song blew up and he wasn't kind of able to make anything stick or whatever. I mean, I don't exist on the pop side of the music sphere, so I'm the last one to know what he's doing. But from what I understand, nothing's really popped.
Just from what I've seen. I mean, that song was everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. On every TikTok, Instagram, all the reels, everything, like everybody was using that sound. And it was such a good fucking song.
Yeah.
And like I was like watching him, I would like be scrolling through YouTube or whatever and like see him like on a talk show or see him like performing with all these like crazy fucking people. And then like the past 2.5 years, literally where did he go? I don't know. And like that's just an example. Maybe he's killing it. Maybe he's like ghostwriting for like successful artists and he's happy doing that, which is great. But it's like to have a label or a management company thinking like all we need is that one song to go viral for us to believe in you and have faith in like the longevity of your career doesn't always work.
Right. Unfortunately, I learned this thing recently from JS actually. He said that we meet all of our own needs all the time, whether they're subconscious or conscious. So wherever we are in life at this moment, whatever we're unhappy with, there is a part of us that needs to hold on to that part of us because we have a subconscious need that needs to be met, right?
Okay.
So for example, I really want to stop smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to stop smoking, but I can't. And it creates this cognitive dissonance where I know that smoking is bad. I know it makes me feel shitty. And I know it's going to make me look like an old hag in about 5 years. However, I'm still doing it. And it almost feels like a different force is like making me, I'm like, why am I doing it? That force is actually my subconscious. Why am I doing this? Because I have something that I need to cope with. And I am subconsciously meeting that need with a distraction, right? I think that goes for every single artist, human on the planet. You know, have you ever met a person that really wants to get big, like is really ambitious, really wants to be famous, but they sabotage every single opportunity that they get? The same thing. Part of them feels unworthy, doesn't want to be seen, doesn't fucking whatever. I'm not them.
Doesn't feel like they're deserving. Whatever.
Doesn't want to be vulnerable with millions of people. Like, yeah, that's normal. That's why there are like 5 famous people in the world. You know what I'm saying?
There's a little bit more, but yeah.
5.5. That half is Tom Cruise. I heard he's small.
I hate that guy so much. So fucking much. I do not like him at all.
No, he's he's most likely the worst.
Yeah, there's like a couple people in line in front of him for sure, but he's definitely in line.
Yeah.
You know.
Name the first 5 celebrities that come to your mind.
Just in general?
Yeah. First 5 faces you see. Go. Don't think.
Tom Cruise, Jennifer Aniston, Jim Carrey, Martha Stewart,
nice,
and Barack Obama.
Yes, that was actually a fire go at that.
Okay, now you go.
Okay, Winona Ryder.
Okay.
Johnny Depp.
Nice.
Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino.
Sick.
Bill Nye.
Sick. I've met him before.
Really?
I've worked with him before.
Holy shit.
It was very fun.
On what?
He was at a music festival called EDC in Las Vegas, I do. And he like did the opening ceremony for it. And he was like talking to thousands, like 100,000 kids who were like rolling balls and on drugs about climate change.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
And then he was late for his flight and he was like really pissed. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta go to the airport. And everybody was like, Bill. And I was just like riding on a golf cart and people were stopping him. Like, yeah, I felt really bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a little celebrity.
That's crazy.
Why did you?
I was just wondering the first people that would come to mind.
Yeah. Very random. Very cool though. Hmm. Do you want to be famous? Yeah.
Yeah.
What need is that fulfilling?
The need to be seen, probably.
Okay.
I thought for a while, that I needed to be understood, but I think that I just need to be heard. And I think it doesn't matter as much as if people out there understand me. I think I have enough people that understand me, and
Yeah.
I'm working on understanding myself, which is the hardest part, probably.
Is playing shows for, let's say, like, what was the crowd like last night?
Oh, dude. So they were one of the best crowds we've
No,
had
like
in
how
LA.
many?
Oh, how many? I don't know, like 50 people?
Yeah. Like, is that enough, or like does that fulfill that?
In the moment it is.
Yes. Yeah.
In the moment when I'm playing the show, it literally does not matter to me if it's 10 people or I don't know, 1,000. Like I can't tell the difference because I'm just in it and I'm doing the
Right.
thing that I like doing.
Right.
Obviously the more people there are, the more you kind of get lost in it. Because there's more energy in the room, you know? But I think it's just a matter of like, I don't know, I guess like staying in flow state as much as possible. That's like, I think that's where artists are the happiest, no matter what the medium is when you're just doing
100p.
the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But the reason why, I'm sure that there's a lot more to unpack, but I feel like if I wasn't famous, or if I like didn't put my music out there, and if everybody didn't hear it, I would feel like it would be a waste, because I feel like I'm a really good entertainer and I feel like I could make people happy. You know?
You're fucking incredible.
Thanks.
Like seeing you, watching you, it's like you're already this like quirky lights of exuberance and energy. You're this ball of energy in the room that's like bright, and like you're looking at it and you're like, whoa, okay. No, it isn't. It's like more like a moth to like a light or a flame.
Yeah.
But, and then watching you perform that one time, I was like, oh shit, like this is her lane. Like this is like what she is meant to do. And why not make a career out of it? Why not fucking get as much money as you can out of it and be as like comfortable in your life as you want to out of it, and push yourself and get recognized for it? Like, why not?
Yeah. Well, it's like, first of all, thanks.
Yeah.
A lot. Second of all, imagine a kid. Imagine a kid growing up somewhere around the New Jersey area, right? He's super bright, has an IQ upwards of whatever a high IQ is, and he just has a passion for science and for numbers. Beyond a passion, it's just something that it's just what he is, right?
Is this Good Will Hunting? What are you... What is this?
And then imagine if he was never put into school. Imagine if his talents were never recognized.
Yeah.
He was never put into school. And then he never became the chief of diagnostic medicine in New Jersey by the name of Gregory House.
Okay, this is real. How do you know
House,
this?
Dude.
Oh. The show.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is like, sometimes like homeboy had to be in diagnostics. You know what I'm saying? He's just too good at it. What else is he gonna do? I could do anything else, but I'd be worse at it than this thing. So
I'm probably like very unhappy.
Yeah. And I'm also just very competitive. So I want to do this thing at the highest level possible and be better than everybody.
You know what's so funny? I've grappled with that of like, well, growing up, it's almost like, you know, the conversation revolved around fame and famous people. Like, oh, did you see what so-and-so is wearing last night?
Yeah.
Or like, oh, putting on TMZ on the whatever, watching the Kardashians on TV or what. Anyways, I was really influenced by that. And like, I still find it myself grappling with like when people say that they want that. Like there's almost like you can't admit that.
Right. Oh, 100%.
It's
Dude, saying that just now was weird.
Yes.
I had to find a space within myself where it was okay.
Yeah. I think we all just, in one way or another, want to be seen, want to feel accepted, want to like be heard.
We want to be special too.
We want to be special. And you do a good job at that. You do a good job at like creating a vibe, creating an energy, you know, transferring that energy to other people through music, through your actions, through words, through crowd surfing, you know. Yeah, you have like a Gwen Stefani meets like Billie Eilish meets I don't even know. I was just blown away though.
Thanks.
And I'm like, yeah, this is it's gonna be big. It's gonna be good.
Thanks, dude.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm excited. The older I get, I used to be really excited about like people knowing who I am. Mainly right now I'm excited for the money. I'm excited to make some money off of what I do. I want it so bad.
And the record deal, did y'all make anything?
Well, here's the thing. We're in this development portion of the deal.
Okay.
In the development portion, we're not really promised any money. What
the fuck does that even mean?
Well, they have to approve 12 of our songs, and we have to meet social media deliverables in order to move on to the record deal stage where they actually give us money. And they haven't approved any songs yet.
They haven't approved any songs?
No.
How long has this been?
Since September or October.
Okay, 5 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dog, you know, here's where I will take this part of the conversation too. When we were a band in Miami, I never, ever got any sort of glazing from anybody.
Glazing?
Yeah. Like when you give somebody compliments.
Oh, okay.
I was never glazed. No one would come up to me and be like...
Never heard that.
Well, now you know. Also, you can use the term glaze maxing is when you're like really, really paying somebody a compliment.
Really quick, where does that come from?
I wish I knew.
Is that TikTok?
I don't know. Where does the word miscellaneous come from?
Like, it comes from people talking. I don't know. But glaze is like slang, and slang usually has like, it comes from here.
I have no idea where it came from. All I know is that I love it and I say it all the time.
Okay, it does sound like a TikTok.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, anyways,
I learned it from Juan. Juan is like my resident Gen Zer, even though he's older than me. He feeds the slang to me.
Sick. So you weren't glazed.
I was not glazed
in Miami.
In Miami, no. I grew up, and also like my parents and my uncle and stuff. Like I think I grew up with them really trying to make sure that I grew up humble, and that I worked really hard. So they would just be like, "Oh, this is ass." Like, figure it out. Do better, It's the same thing in Miami. So as a result, I had no idea the way that I was going to react when I moved to a city. Nothing could have prepared me for this. Moving to a city where there are a bunch of musicians and getting compliments from people that I respect. It did something to my brain. I didn't know what to do with it because I just thought I was like, I like music and this is what I do. And, maybe I'm not that great at it, but I just like it. And it felt a little bit more pure. Then when I moved here, everyone was like, oh my God, you're a star or whatever, And so I was like, now I have to live up to this. And now I have to really do it, and I have to act a certain way, and whatever. And when people, when you only have a handful of people feeding you compliments after many, many years of never thinking you were going to get any, they start to control you.
The
like
compliments.
Yes, they use it. It kind of becomes like this weird like power imbalance. Where,
talking about label people.
Yeah, well, people that want to make money off of you and people that want to have contracts with you.
Yep.
And it's like on every end of the music business, like managers, booking people, anybody that wants to rope you in and make sure that no one else has you. Like, they'll go in and they'll compliment you super hard. They'll smell your insecurity because all artists are insecure and we want to be the best, and and they'll just be like, okay, it's sad because it's all they have to do. Like, so many artists that I know are so eager to just hear, probably from their moms or something, that they're doing such a good job, sweetie, And this fucking old guy comes in here and is like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna make you a star. I'm gonna buy you some new tits. It's gonna be crazy.
Just say new tits.
Yeah. And you're like, yes. Oh, is this what love feels like? Yeah. So yeah, probably before moving to LA, I recommend everybody develop a system of internal validation so that you know what you're worth, because everyone's worth a lot more than business people are willing to give.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get the most without spending.
Yeah, exactly.
The most.
Yeah, you're like a fucking Oscar Mayer wiener, bro. They're like, how do I get these for 20 cents a pack so I could sell them for $2?
Yes.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Your soul and everything it bears? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's weird putting like commodification. Like commodifying like your essence.
Yeah, monetizing. Yeah.
Your essence. Your soul, like your emotions that you write. It's fucked. I mean, like, music is notorious for like people getting taken advantage of. People being glazed and then fucking getting eaten because they're now a Krispy Kreme donut.
Okay. Double entendre.
Yes,
shit.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's fucked. I've been glazed a couple times and then been fucking burned. And it's very interesting, but it's all learning.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, what's this person's intentions?
Yeah.
Can I take them seriously?
At the end of the day, it's life, and we're still going to be able to like go out on the beach and like have a nice little beer and then like go out with our friends and sit on the top of a hill,
Yeah.
Even I thought like the way that I imagined when I was younger, the darkest moments in my life taking place, I never thought there would be so many moments of like normalcy around it. I thought it would just all be super horrible and dark and terrible. And even when I moved out here, I had like a little period where I had like a little mental breakdown. I was super depressed. But even within that, there were moments where, I just took a really nice walk and I felt some hope, and then, or like I ate something, I ate some pho and I was like, yes, this is good,
Right.
Like, or I held in my pee for a very long time and then I finally peed and I was like, oh my God.
Can we just say that is like one of the best free feelings of euphoria?
Peeing, sneezing, and, coming.
I thought you were going to say pooping.
No.
Okay.
Sometimes pooping is a stressful experience. Like sometimes it's live or die, Like,
what are you
pissing
eating?
has never come with that sort of,
okay. I guess until you get into like kidneys or like kidney stones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I haven't experienced
Never experienced that. No.
Yeah.
Never experienced that. Yeah. I had Taco Bell before my show yesterday, so that's how I know that it can be life or death. And I've never, first of all, I have a colon of like what's more expensive than, I don't know, dude, I have a diamond colon. State of the art. It functions really, really well. And that is probably the only organ of mine that they should donate to anybody if I die. Ever.
I don't think you can donate colon, can you?
Really?
I think it's like more like heart and kidneys.
Why not colon? Can't they like do like a thing where they introduce some of the other person's like, I don't know. Anyway,
don't know either.
but if it's not a thing, my colon can be donated because it is good. It functions well. So
well, you're also Russian, right?
Yeah.
Russian people are kind of indestructible.
Yes, but I'm also Jewish. And so I'm brought back down to earth, baby.
Yeah.
Like, I have GERD.
Yeah.
So
you're a burned glazed donut.
Yeah, I'm a burned glazed donut. Exactly. Yeah. Like, Icarus, is that the guy falling from the sky? That was me. The guy that, like, is made of wax and then he gets too close to the sun.
Oh, shit, and he melts?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I've heard of Icarus. I just don't know the
okay,
story.
Well, that's me. Anyway, yeah, my colon functions really well usually, which is why, like, I could eat Taco Bell, doesn't do anything to me.
Damn.
Same time every day.
You're also 26.
Don't put that shit on me like that, bro.
I'm just saying.
Don't curse me like this.
Are your parents like healthy and?
My mom's super healthy. My dad is an alcoholic.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so he's
balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're still together. It's very sweet. My mom like she like takes care of him and she'll give him like force him into periods of sobriety. And yeah, adorable. Adorable little couple they are. Do
you still talk to them?
Yeah.
Obviously?
Yeah, I just not much. We didn't grow up with like, you know, a lot of communication between us. So But yeah, I mean, they visit sometimes. I think my mom's going to be in Miami in May or something. Might go visit her over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that weird being away from your parents since you were 3?
Since 7? I was 6. Yeah.
6. Okay.
No. It's like just, I don't know, life. It's when you start comparing it to other people's lives.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it was like, you know, you see like mom and dad drop in or like at the PTA meetings at school or whatever.
Maybe. I remember going to people's houses and seeing their families like eating together at a table and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And part of me wanted it, but another part of me was like super into my autonomy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to like nobody paid attention to what I fucking did as a kid. Nobody. And that was like probably neglectful, but also super freeing, you know, because like I didn't have like their watchful eye. I think I got to figure out who I was in certain ways a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm also a serial monogamist, so obviously needs are being met, you know, we talked about earlier.
True.
But, however, I remember there was this moment in the first grade where we had to write poems, and I wrote a poem about missing my mom, not because I missed my mom, but because I always got questions about my parents, like from like other kids, you know, and like, you know, like.
Interesting. It's almost like what you described earlier of like, I feel like I should feel this
exactly
in this time, so I guess I'll cry right now.
And I knew it would get people. Like I performed it like a little song in front of the class. Teachers were weeping, bro. I got their asses. I got them. And I felt like a deep sense of pride. I was like, wow, like I fucking like I know how people work, bro. You know? It's crazy. Yeah.
Some good behavior for a little child.
Bro, I probably could be used as a weapon somewhere in some sort of facility, you know?
Yeah, I'd say use your powers for like good. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm trying. Yeah.
Can you talk about that thing that happened? So at the show you were saying.
I was saying some stuff at the show, and I actually have been advised by my new management people to not talk shit. Because if I get sued, then my lawyers won't want to work with me anymore. But something that I will say is I grew up with a lot of creative freedom in my life.
Yeah.
And I grew up never ever hearing the word no. Because no one was around to say it. So I feel like I got this gift of being able to explore art to like complete extremes and to have like boundless creativity as a result. Because a lot of artists have, all artists have creative blocks, and some people do more than others, and it all has to do with upbringing. So because I was never told no, I just want to fucking go crazy and bounce off the walls and like try this and try that, and like it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit into a certain box. Like let's fuck around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when somebody that is trying to create a product and to monetize something that people will buy, there is less of that allowed, obviously. Like they're kind of, they're putting me on a shorter leash. And I, from what I've learned, don't respond well to that sort of experience.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I was talking shit at the last show about stuff.
And it's because you got put on a short leash.
And it's because I'm on a short leash.
And you didn't like that?
I didn't like it.
At all?
Mm-mm. No. And this bird you cannot change.
Where do you see Bruvvy going? Like hope with expectation is what is that? Or hope with
hope without mystery is only an expectation.
So where do you see, or where do you hope in the future with mystery that Bruvvy and you go? Like when you look 5-10 years in the future, like where do you see your life, your band, your career, your artistry? Do you have ideas?
Yes. And I don't want to say that I'm attached to any certain outcome. I think I start to become attached to an outcome when I start comparing myself to other people. And when you compare yourself to other people, nothing is ever good enough, Nope. But if I am centered within myself, I will say that I'm not really attached to a certain outcome or to how it happens. But what I do know is that I think Bruvvy is iconic. What I also know is that I want to do this on the highest possible professional level that is, allotted on planet Earth. I want to be able to experience that. I want to continue growing, as an artist, as a performer, and I want to be able to do it at a high level. And I want to, and I just want to be able to fucking eat. Both literally and figuratively.
Has there been any questions in your mind saying like, I want Bruvvy, my band, my thing to be iconic? Does that ever fade, or is it just like, no?
I don't think I want it to be iconic. I think it just is.
It is.
Yeah. So that's the one part I don't really like. I don't worry about, It's just, I think a lot of things, a lot of artists, a lot of, pieces of art have the potential to be iconic, but culture chooses and time chooses. But within my culture and within my time, I think that Bruvvy's iconic. It's iconic to me, So, I just, really what I hope for is that the rest of the world can kind of see it in the really cool way that I do, because it makes me happy, I hope everyone could tap in. There's cool shit's happening in here,
It will. I hope for that for you guys. Like watching, like hearing Tommy talk about you guys.
Glaze max us.
Like glaze max you. And then seeing you guys. And what was so funny, I think I told you this, but it was right after your show, but I do like the Spotify AI DJ thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to choose, just choose for me. I'll
Yeah.
listen, I'll skip if I don't want it. but we were on the way to your show and like turn on AI DJ and it's like some new stuff from like people you've never heard before. And the first song was your like Bruvvy.
No fucking way.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was crazy. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
How?
I don't know. It was some God shit.
That is some God shit, dude.
Are you spiritual at all?
Yeah, I think that I look for worship and divinity in everything.
What does that mean?
I think that all people have a natural inclination towards ritual and worship and faith. It's just a matter of where we find it. And some people choose what they worship, what they have faith in, and some people don't. It kind of just happens on a subconscious level. I chose to have faith in art, and I chose to worship it and to ritualize it and to treat it like the magical thing that it is. It's the thing that's above me. And I think every human being needs something that is bigger than them. So, otherwise I think we'd all kill ourselves, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think so. It's not more so a person or a thing. It's just occurrences of things happening that should not have happened that let me know that I'm okay.
Yeah, synchronicities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has like really kept me going, and it's almost like a conversation.
Yeah.
As well. I'm just like, I'll talk at night to like whoever the fuck and just be like, hey, like I'm really needing this, or like my friend really needs this thing. Like,
yeah,
can we try to help? Like, can you help me help them, or whatever the fuck? And like whatever, like the resources come. Like there was this conversation, there's this feedback loop.
Yeah.
For me that I've experienced a lot recently, which is like really awesome. And I've experienced so much, like right before my dad died and right after my dad died, there was this whole like plethora of synchronicities and things coming in and messages from people and animals and all these different types of beautiful random things, events that made me think like, okay, there's not I'm not just here randomly and these things just aren't happening on they're just not happening just to happen. Like there's a pattern and occurrence to this that is unexplainable but real. I don't know, it's odd, and I still go through moments of like being like, fuck you, universe, and
of course,
whatever God may be or whatever, but and then I'll go through moments of just like trusting and having faith.
That's all of love all the time. Like everything follows the same patterns, the love that you have like within whatever gives you faith, or the love with like a romantic partner or friends or family or yourself. Sometimes you are like, fuck you. You can't wrap your mind around what the fuck is going on, and then you're like, no, I love you again. That's like, it follows the same pattern all the time, at least within the human experience.
Same with art too. I'm like, I can't pick up a camera. I can't do this one more time. I'm going to like die. I'm going to kill myself or somebody. And then like the next day, like, okay, we're good. We're good again. And
that was crazy.
Who was that? But it happens in a lot of things. And it's just like a flow of like, it's just a wave. I don't know. I guess we'll finish with this because I got to get going soon. But like, what does the day-to-day ritual of being in a band look like and writing songs and music? Do you have a schedule? Is it more go with the flow?
Oh, dude. Okay. First of all, I wake up in my bunk bed at 7 a.m. and I
You guys have bunk beds?
Bro, yes. Paula and Nelson, they're together. They sleep in the bedroom upstairs, which formerly my bedroom. We have one bathroom, and then Juan and I are in the living room in 2 loft beds. Bunk beds, but like no bottom
with
bed.
like a little office.
Yeah, a little office underneath. Yeah.
Sick.
It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. But anyway, wake up in my little bunk bed. Sometimes we'll go to sessions, or sometimes I'll go to sessions and, you know, write a new song. But most of the time I've tried to create a ritual for myself. I journal every single morning. It's the first thing that I do as soon as I wake up. 3 pages ASAP.
Okay, Artist Way.
Literally, get that shit out of my fucking subconscious. Otherwise, I've noticed such a huge difference in my mental state, or even in the way that I speak to people. You know, I feel like I can be more open. But after that, I try to go to the studio, which I haven't done recently because I have crazy writer's block because my label isn't accepting my songs. So it's really disappointed me. But anyway, before all this shit happened with you know, our lovely label, I would wake up really, really early in the morning before anyone was up, and I would go to our little rehearsal studio, and I would just like try to write something on Logic every day. Try to write a song, you know? And that's pretty much it. And then
you just show up almost every day.
Show up.
Whether you're feeling it or not.
Yeah. Even if it's not a song, like just doing the bare minimum which is for me is sitting down and writing what I'm feeling that day is it. Throughout the day, I will always, whenever any idea comes through my head, anything that sounds cool, just anything, I will write it all down.
Yeah.
Everything, every single thing. And then, you know, just try to write a song, sing a little, play a little guitar, sound check.
Do you have beats, melodies, lyrics just come to you randomly throughout the day?
Mainly lyrics, yeah.
Yeah.
Lyrical concepts or like philosophical thoughts, ideas. I'll just be hit with them, or like I'll see something cool on the street and I'll write it down because it'll feel poetic to me.
Do you have one recently that you can remember that you really like?
Yeah.
Read me something else. Cut that part out, Scott.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Okay.
Also, there are some cashiers at Erewhon that I'm like.
Yeah. It's mainly because, you know how when you find somebody attractive because you know that they find you attractive? You know? It's just like a person that pays attention to me.
Okay.
You know? I see him notice me every single time. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm a guy. We don't really get that too often.
Here are certain things. Here are some of the things that I have recently found to be poetic while standing at my host stand at work. I wrote down, there's no value in attention alone. I also wrote down, what should I do with my hands? I also wrote down, in my freedom, I choose you. And I also wrote down, rabbis with geek bars.
A geek bar is a vape?
Yes.
Nice.
This is specifically the vape that has a turbo mode, pulse.
And so there's rabbis in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, I saw one the other day. On Shabbos, bro. Can you believe the audacity? I thought they weren't supposed to. Shabbat, dude. They're not supposed to use electronics. I saw him with that fucking geek bar. I saw him, and so did God, by the way. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a good line.
Yeah.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think you killed it.
No, this has been a vibe. Cut that part out, Scott. Cut it out.
Schmurdered. All right, go check out Bruvvy on Instagram.
Check out Bruvvy on Instagram.